Before we begin, I want to acknowledge something that many victims have already learned the hard way. If you are a stalking victim navigating the justice system, you've probably felt alone. You've likely been dismissed, ignored, or told there's nothing law enforcement can do. You've likely been informed of your perpetrator's rights throughout this process. So it's natural to wonder, is anyone actually on my side? The truth is, the system wasn't built for victims. It is built for prosecution, for law enforcement, for the mechanics of justice to function as cleanly and efficiently as possible. But inside this system, there are people whose job isn't to convict criminals or keep case numbers moving. Their job is to help you. They are called victim advocates. And if you don't know about them, it's not your fault. Most victims don't. They are not police officers. They are not prosecutors. They do not work on investigations or build cases in court. But they are the one and only role inside the system designed for victims, not for law enforcement. And their purpose? To listen, to guide you through the process, to help you understand your rights, to stand beside you when no one else will. Today we are going to talk about who victim advocates are, where to find them, what they can and cannot do, and most importantly, how to use them strategically to get the best possible outcome for your case. What is a victim advocate? A victim advocate is a trained professional who helps crime victims navigate the justice system. They are not police officers. They are not lawyers. They do not argue cases in court. But what they do is just as important. They explain the legal process in a way that actually makes sense. They help you with paperwork, evidence documentation, and victim impact statements. They stand with you in court so you don't have to face your stalker alone. And most importantly, they listen. They are often the only person in the system whose job is to help you. Most people working in the justice system are case-focused. Victim advocates are victim-focused. They know the system is overwhelming, confusing, and often disempowering for victims. So they help bridge the gap. They take all the jargon, the procedural red tape, the intimidating legal forms, and break it down into something that makes sense. Where can you find a victim advocate? Most victims assume that if they need help, they have to call the police. But law enforcement is not the only place to turn. Victim advocates exist in multiple places within the justice system, each with their own role and limitations. 1. The District Attorney's Office. If your case is being prosecuted, the DA's office likely has a victim witness advocate. These advocates work inside the criminal court system. They help you understand legal proceedings and what to expect in court. They notify you of court dates, parole hearings, and major updates on your case. And most importantly, they help ensure that your story is actually heard by the prosecutor. Because here's the truth. Prosecutors are busy. They are handling hundreds, sometimes thousands of cases at a time. Many victims assume that once the case reaches the DA's office, everything will be taken care of. But unless you make yourself heard, unless your case is presented as organized, compelling, and impossible to ignore, it could easily get lost in the pile. A victim advocate can help prevent that from happening. If you have an upcoming trial, call the DA's office and ask to speak with a victim advocate. 2. The Department of Corrections. If your stalker has been arrested, sentenced, or is being extradited to another state, you may find another kind of victim advocate inside the Department of Corrections. These advocates handle victim notification services, meaning they provide updates on whether your stalker is in custody, if they are eligible for parole, when they are scheduled for release. But there is something important to understand. Corrections is not always accurate. Many victims have received wrong or incomplete information about their perpetrator's release dates. Some have even found out about their stalker's release only after running into them in public. If your stalker is incarcerated, call your state's Department of Corrections and ask for their Victim Services Division. Make sure you are registered for notifications. And never assume the information you receive is 100% correct. 3. Law enforcement agencies. Some police departments have on-staff victim advocates. These are different from detectives. They do not investigate crimes, but they do help victims right after a crime is reported. They can help you file reports, explain what will happen next, and connect you to resources. If you have been turned away by law enforcement and need guidance, ask if your local police department has a victim assistance program. 4. Civil courts. If you are filing a restraining order, some civil courts have victim advocates specifically for protective orders. They can help you fill out paperwork, prepare for your hearing, and explain the legal process. While they cannot give you legal advice, they can help you feel more prepared and less alone in the process. Before going to court, ask if your courthouse has a victim advocate program. What can a victim advocate do for you? They listen. Most people in the system don't have time to hear your full story. Victim advocates do. They explain what's happening. The legal system is confusing. They break it down in ways that actually make sense. They help with paperwork, restraining orders, court documents, victim impact statements. They help make sure nothing gets missed. They go to court with you. They can sit beside you in the courtroom and, in some cases, even arrange for a private waiting area so you don't have to sit near your stalker. They notify you of case updates. They can keep you informed about court dates, parole hearings, and legal deadlines. They connect you to resources, counseling, financial assistance, legal aid. They know where to find help. Victim advocates cannot fix the broken system, but they are one of the few people inside it who are actually there to help you. They are not investigators. They are not prosecutors. They cannot make the system work better, but they can help you navigate it. And in a system that wasn't built for victims, you need every ally you can get. If this video helped you, subscribe and check out our full Stalking Survivor Handbook, because you deserve more than survival. You deserve justice.